This very moment 2 decades ago, the world was about to change forever.
What we were going to show you next is something we only air once a year on September 11th. There are images and language you will see that is disturbing. We show you this in effort to never forget the true tragedy of that day.
Now we take you back 20 years ago this hour as the 9/11 attacks happened.
This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. 64 degrees at 8 o'clock. It's Tuesday, September 11th. I'm Lee Harris. Here's what's happening. It's primary day, and the polls are open in New York City. Voters are deciding among about 250 candidates for mayor, city council, and assorted other positions.
American 11, climb, maintain level 350. American 11, Boston. American 11, if you hear Boston Center, ident. Is that American 11 trying to call?
Buddy, we have some planes. Just stay quiet and you'll be okay. We're turning to the airport.
15 Southwest of Bono going to Hampton, climbing high.
American 11, are you trying to call?
Nobody move. Everything will be okay. If you try to make any move, you'll danger yourself and the airplane. Just stay quiet.
838?
Yes.
Have you guys heard anything from American?
No.
Okay, we think there might be somebody in the cockpit right now taking it over.
We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards New York. So we need someone to scramble some F-16s or something up there to help us out.
Is this real world or exercise?
No, this is not an exercise manifest.
Point notice on battle station.
Air close up.
This is Huntress with an active air defense scramble for Panta 4546. Time 1246. Authenticate Delta X-ray. Scramble immediately.
Dracon. Hey, Dracon, American 11, 767, possible hijack. We believe he's on a descent. The World Trade Center, tower number 1 is on fire. The whole outside of the building, there was just a huge explosion. Send every available ambulance, everything you got to the World Trade Center now.
We have a very tragic alert for you right now. An incredible plane crash into the World Trade Center here at the lower tip of Manhattan.
It's believed a 737 has crashed into. There's speculation at this point, but at least 3 floors taken out, crashed into the side of the building. Joining us right now, one of the producers with Fox Report, Owen Mugan on the scene. Owen, what do you know? What do you see? Where are you?
Yeah, Brian, I'm on the roof of my building, which is about 5 blocks to the south of the World Trade Center. I'm looking right now at the World Trade Center. There's a massive gaping hole on the second tower. It's about 15 stories from the roof. It's just unbelievable to look at.
It looks like something out of a movie. There is a huge hole in the side of tower number 1.
I just do not believe this is happening.
We have a number of floors on fire. It looked like the plane was aiming towards the building. It looked like it was intentional. It's 4 more units going into the box. It could be a terrorist attack. Roll every available ambulance you got to this position.
That's cool, okay.
You can see emergency vehicles carrying south on the West Side Highway heading toward the scene. There are tons of people in the streets. There are papers, things fluttering out. I can't see any evidence of what it was that could have crashed. All I can see is that this massive gaping hole with tons of black smoke falling out of the building. We have several injured people on West Street here.
Even report floor number 106. Numerous people trapped. Floor number 106.
You guys have jumpers, baby, jumpers. Come on.
All right, Division 1, be advised, Battalion 2 advised you have jumpers from the World Trade Center, okay?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
The plane obviously went in on one side and came out the other. There's debris all over the ground down
through
below.
On part.
Yeah, exactly. And as you can see, it affects perhaps 10 floors. Yes. Of the World Trade Center building. It is over 100 stories tall.
This time of morning is when people pour into that building, and it's usually next to full.
We got to also remember this is near the financial district on the tip of Manhattan. There are so many people at this hour who are in that neighborhood. They've got all the police and the fire department and the emergency technicians are headed to that area. This is horrible.
All we can do is stare aghast at these pictures at this point. You are looking at the north building of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in Manhattan. These are coming to you live now. Debris raining down from 110 floors up. As you can see, this is a clear blue sky day in Manhattan. If this was an accident, it would be a needle in a haystack kind of accident. Our Wendell Goler is traveling with the president.
John, the president is here promoting a reading initiative on the second day of a two-day trip to Florida.
United 175, recycle your transponder and squawk code of 1470. United 175, New York. United 175, do you read New York? I can't get a hold of the United 175 at all right now, and I don't know where he went to.
Can you see a guy at about 4,000 feet, about 5 east of the airport right now? Looks like he's...
Yeah, I see him.
You see a guy, look, is he descending for the building also?
He's descending really quick too, yeah.
Well, that's
2,500 feet now. He just dropped 800 feet in like one sweep.
There was another one. We just saw another one. We just saw another one apparently go. Another plane just flew into the second tower.
3-6 Manhattan urgent. You have a second plane into the other tower of the Trade Center. Major fire.
Crawford David, Marine 6 advising a second plane into the World Trade Center, okay.
3-6, that's the other tower. This is Medicaid Mayday. Engine, the little plane hit the second tower, okay?
This has to be deliberate, folks. We just saw on live television as a second plane flew into the second tower of the World Trade Center. Now, given what has been going on around the world, some of the key suspects come to mind. Osama bin Laden. Eric Shawn is with us.
Well, first, I apologize for being out of breath because I was walking down Fifth Avenue, which is close to our studios, and I heard a jet flying low, unusually low over Fifth Avenue, and it made a right toward the building.
This is clearly deliberate.
That chilling, horrible scene that we just saw, I think, is attack not just in the World Trade Center, but at the very soul and the very heart of our nation, John.
It is a tragedy. It is abhorrent. It is disgusting.
Obviously, it takes a lot of training and expertise to fly a complicated, sophisticated aircraft. These are not little Cessnas and little Pipers. So you have to wonder what was going on in the cockpit.
Let's bring in David Lee Miller, our correspondent. David Lee, what can you tell us?
Good morning, John. I'm a few blocks from the World Trade Center right now. As you would expect, all the roadways are pretty much cut off. The only way to get near the buildings is on foot right now. The scene is absolutely a horrific one. You have people streaming out of the area. You've got people literally in tears and shock.
Harvey Kushner is on the line with us. He's a frequent guest of ours and a terrorism expert. Harvey, is it too early to speculate?
You look outside the Fox studios, look how clear it is. I mean, how could you miss the trade towers? I mean, not just one, but two planes? No matter how this turns out, This is going to be a day that's going to live in infamy. And, you know, it's going to cause changes in terms of security like this country has never seen before.
Let me bring into the conversation David Asman, my colleague.
Yes, John Scott.
David, what can you tell us?
I just want to give you some late-breaking information. All of Manhattan has been sealed off. The Hudson River bridges and the tunnels have been sealed, so Manhattan is in a lockdown. One can only guess that the U.S. Armed Forces is now in a state of high alert. We are a city under siege right now, and the United States of America is warding off any further terrorist threats on the city of Manhattan.
The city is closed. You cannot leave the city.
You got United 93? United 93. Yeah. Descended. Doreen Patterson did not. What's that? I just saying, it looked like he descended there. I don't think so. United 93, verify 350. United 93, verify your flight level 350. United 93, Cleveland. United 93, if you're at Cleveland Center, ident, please.
President Bush is about to speak. He's in Florida. That was what was supposed to be a joyous event at an elementary school. Let's listen in.
Today we've had a national tragedy. Two airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families, and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence. May God bless the victims, their families, and America. Thank you very much.
You just got to wonder what reaction happens next. Let's find out from a former special agent of the FBI. This is Joseph Contamessa. Can the federal government simply shut down the airspace and keep all airplanes on the ground?
Well, of course, any legitimate aircraft can be controlled totally through the FAA and the various control centers and towers. However, a hijacked aircraft that is under control of...
I want to interrupt you for just a minute. The White House is being evacuated. That comes to us from one of our Fox producers in Washington. The White House is being evacuated. The Pentagon as well.
Everybody back. Everybody back.
Now let's go. Move it out.
I think we just had an airplane crash east of here. It must be in the district area. Water 14, it was an American Airlines plane headed east down over the Pike, possibly toward the Pentagon. 36, I see the smoke.
Any unit responding to check the area of the Pentagon, advise on channel 1.
I'm direct, and there is visible smoke coming from that area. High visible smoke.
I don't want to incite any undue panic, but there is a report only, of another aircraft that has crashed. David Asman is joining us from Fox Central. David, what do you have?
John, we are hearing right now of another explosion that has taken place at the Pentagon. We have the heart of the financial district of America being attacked. Now we understand that there is an explosion, there has been an explosion in the Pentagon, the heart of the military command center of the United States of America, John. It can't get much worse than this, let's hope.
It has happened again. Another large airliner, perhaps hijacked, perhaps part of some widespread plan, apparently slamming into at least the area around the Pentagon.
The captain would like to remain seated. Well, one aboard, and we are going to back to the airport, and we have our demand, so please remain quiet. Okay, it's United 93 calling. United 93, understand you have a bomb on board? Go ahead. Executive 956, did you understand that transmission?
Affirmative, he said there was a bomb on board. That aircraft you can't get a hold of, has he turned to the east now?
He's just turned to the east also. United 93, you're here Cleveland Center. We just lost a target on that aircraft.
We now understand that the Federal Aviation Administration is shutting down all airport airline takeoffs nationwide. Planes that are in the air right now are going to be diverted to the closest airport as soon as possible, because in a situation like this, the authorities don't know where the next one might come from.
And what appears to be a complete collapse surrounding the entire area. There's been a major collapse in the tower. The command center out here, everybody had, it was a major collapse. Well, everybody in the area had to run. I don't know if the field copier is available.
Oh my God. What the hell happened? There's been a huge explosion. Everyone's running in the other direction. We're on Church Street. We're not sure what happened. There's been a huge explosion. Everyone's running for their lives, literally. Police, media. I see a woman pushing a baby carriage. It's unclear what happened, if the tower collapsed or what, but I think we better get out of this mess, dude. I think we better get out of this. Here comes the smoke.
Help! Help me, Jesus!
Can anybody hear me? I'm a civilian. I'm trapped inside one of the fire trucks underneath. The collapse that just happened. Stand by, there's people close to you. I can't breathe much longer. Save me. We're setting up an ad hoc emergency post with EMS personnel. Place is filling up with engine.
By 10-4, we have multiple units on the way in at this time, Kate.
10-4. I have dozens and dozens of firemen. We have medical emergencies, possible heart attacks.
Where are we? Which way to go?
Just stay put. Stay put.
Adriana!
Everyone is like covered in thousands of people down right now.
David Lee Miller is still with us. David, what can you tell us?
John, the scene is horrific. One of the two towers literally collapsed. There was debris falling. People within the entire perimeter began literally, including myself, which is why I'm out of breath, to run for our lives.
It appears that the building simply collapsed of its own weight, that there was so much damage from the heat of the fire. The steel will melt. That was the building that was hit by the second plane. That plane seemed to come in at a lower altitude. It hit the building lower down, and there was that tremendous fireball. So the damage to the building came at a point where there is much more weight on top of it, and those steel girders, strong as they are, had a lot of weight to support, and apparently, I'm not a structural engineer, but I'm just guessing now that they gave way. The loss of life here is going to be enormous.
May God help those who are there, and the victims and their families, and all the souls that are lost today.
Rick Leventhal once again with our producer Carlos Van Meek is in Lower Manhattan. You cannot even see the sky there because of the soot, the ash, the crumbled concrete that is continuing to rain down.
This is Church Street. It looks like a snowstorm hit. There's thick ash on the ground, lots of it. Pandemonium here. How you doing, sir?
A little shook up. I went through Tet in Vietnam, and I never seen anything like this. It's unbelievable.
How close were you to the building when this happened?
I was in front of the door of 5 World Trade Center evacuating the people out of the building. And we got a lot out, and then it just blew. You couldn't move because you couldn't see. It was ash and smoke. I couldn't see because my eyes and my mouth were full. Because as soon as we heard the explosion, we ran out of New York State Supreme Court, jumped on our jury bus, came.
All right, here we go again. Here we go again. I don't know what's going on, but the second building is collapsing, I believe.
The other tower just collapsed. Major collapse. Major collapse. Urgent. 289 to Manhattan. Urgent. The World Trade Center's collapsed. Building 2 has collapsed. Okay. Urgent. Urgent. Unicorn urgent case. Everybody get out. We had a collapse of the second tower. Everybody's running from there. This is here it comes. Get in. Hold on.
It is hard to describe, folks. The pictures show what has happened in Lower Manhattan, but we don't have a handle yet on the devastation. The World Trade Center has collapsed, and the casualty figure we cannot even begin to guess at this point.
United 9-3, have you got information on that yet?
Yeah, he's down.
He's down?
Yes.
When did he land? Because we have confirmation.
He did not land.
Oh, he's down?
Yes, somewhere up northeast of Camp David.
Authorities at the Somerset County Airport confirm a large plane crash about 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. You've got to assume that it's related to all of these goings-on.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended. Make no mistake, the United States will hunt down and punish those responsible for these cowardly acts.